In today's video, we're gonna take a look at 7 cheap, fresh and long-lasting fragrances that always get me compliments. Like always, I want to start without any further ado. Let's start today by House of Jacques Bogart at number 7, Silver Scent. About scent profile of this fragrance, to be honest, it is a bit synthetic to my taste. I have smelled lots of fragrances. It doesn't smell as natural as most of fragrances in my collection, but for whatever reason, get solid compliments from people out there, especially from people that are not into the game. Average people, let's say. Scent profile is clean, has that clean vibe to it. It is like citrusy and grape juicy, extremely sweet with touch of citruses at the background. So let's say to this one, a loud, sweet, fresh fragrance. Lasts like 12 hours plus solid on me, and projection and sillage, I have to say, really 2-3 hours very loud. So number 6 is from House of Zimaya, which is a sub-brand of House of Afnan. It is a pretty new fragrance in my collection, but I have to say in this short period got me a ton of great compliments, especially at the gym. Mazaaj Infused, which is very close to Louis Vuitton Imagination, but this one is a little bit at the opening soapier compared to the Imagination and leans cleaner. Let's say to this one, it is a soapy, citrusy and mature smelling type of fragrance with touch of sweetness at the background. I can get like 8 hours plus longevity with this one, which is great for this price. And projection and sillage is average to good somehow for first 2 hours. At number 5, I have a very unfairly underrated cheapie which gets solid compliments, guys, with a great performance from House of Afnan, Historic Olmeda. I can read, they say it is cologne of Dilan Blue by Versace, but it has nothing, but absolute nothing to do with Versace Dilan Blue, except that Amber Oxygen side. Not every or any Amber Oxygen fragrance is Dior Sauvage or Dilan Blue, but I have to say this one is an Amber Oxygen bomb. Has like twice as Dilan Blue or Dior Sauvage Amber Oxygen. If you are not into Amber Oxygen, this fragrance is not for you. If you like Amber Oxygen, this is definitely a must try for you. Man, ton of Amber Oxygen comes through. It is like acidic, aggressive and citrusy, gets calmer and more rounded after first 20 minutes. The opening is a bit harsh, I have to say to this one. Lasts like 12 hours plus easily on my skin with 2-3 hours loud projection and sillage, but like transparent, cloudy type of loud, not disturbing or offensive. Let's continue by House of Armaf at number 4. Cheap fragrance list cannot be done without House of Armaf. In my opinion, we have a great job here from them. Iconic, Club de Nuit Iconic, which is takeoff Armaf on Bleu de Chanel DNA, not exact clone of that fragrance. Actually, it is very difficult to clone that Bleu de Chanel. So I can say immediately they reduced that incensey vibe of the Bleu de Chanel, but the rest is very close to that fragrance, like that shower jelly blue and divine, let's say, atmosphere of the fragrance is here available. Smells better compared to most of Armaf fragrances. It doesn't smell anything cheap or synthetic to my nose, I have to say to this one. Lasts like 8 hours plus solid on my skin with 2 hours of good projection and sillage, and has a very solid compliment factor. Number 3 is from House of Lattafa. I have here Sheikh Shuyukh Final Edition, which is exactly like YEDP by Yves Saint Laurent. I would say as long lasting, as sexy, but cheaper, and gets solid compliments, exactly like YEDP. I like that accuracy in this fragrance. If you haven't smelled YEDP, it is a citrusy and woody fragrance, and a bit fizzy, carbonated, and gets a bit earthier or let's say woodier at the dry down, and loses that freshness of opening a little bit. At the dry down, I can get like solid 7 hours plus longevity with this one, with 2 hours of good projection and sillage. Number 2 is from House of Rasasi. For me, Rasasi is higher in terms of quality compared to the other Middle Eastern houses. Let's say I have it more than 3-4 years in my collection, and honestly got me a ton of solid, great compliments in this 3-4 years. Al Wisam Day, which is cologne of, or let's say takeoff House of Rasasi on Silver Mountain Water DNA by House of Creed. I didn't say cologne because we have here added rose to that DNA, which I believe works great with this DNA. Great idea. And rose is not jammy, which I don't like it. Doesn't smell like granny. It is very inoffensive and soft, pink type of rose. Nothing jammy or outdated here. And a bit inky at the background, has some sort of sweetness and at the same time sourness to it. Has a very complex at the same time simple type of DNA, very unique and outstanding. I can get like solid 8 hours longevity with this one, and projection and sillage is good for first 2 hours, especially sillage. Number 1, are you ready? In terms of performance, compliments, that's value for the money. It is one of the best cheapies I've ever purchased in entire my journey. I have said this one, it is like concentrated extrait de parfum, like 40% oil concentration, 12 hours plus longevity, crazy projection and sillage. I'm talking about Supremacy Not Only Intense from House of Afnan, which is a take on Creed Aventus and Nishane Hajiwat between both of those fragrances. Not exactly like any of those, but closer to Hajiwat side, because it is too earthy rather than smoky. Yeah, Aventus is mostly in that smoky side, Hajiwat is in the earthy side. This is like earthy mossy at the dry down. Opening is like creamy citrusy. You're gonna get that citruses and pineapple. Very refreshing and beautiful, but at the dry down is extremely woody and earthy, so loses a bit of that sour freshness, creaminess, yumminess at the dry down. Let's say to this one, as I said, 12 hours plus solid longevity, 2 hours, 3 hours, great projection and sillage, and out of this world complimenting factor. Take care, guys.